It says a small riot started going on outside the store with people screaming at the manager.
Hey, by the way, how great is it that, McCain lost the election because, and not because of McCain, but because of Sarah Palin. I mean, you touched on this in the news yesterday. We didn't talk about it a lot, but that fucking daughter with the illegitimate baby and the son, the other kid, I mean, you watch. Now the latest thing is, listen to this. Sarah Palin's daughter, the one who just had the baby, a wedlock. Yeah, she had the teen pregnancy. She's now on tour, going around the country, talking to teens to tell them that teen pregnancy is wrong.
Now, wouldn't that be the perfect person?
Yeah. So, regardless, I mean, it's almost like Sarah Palin came close to getting to be the vice president, a heartbeat away from the presidency, and it's like watching an episode of Jerry Springer, Her Life. I mean, the husband's marching around with the daughter, and they're fighting with the father of the baby.
Right, he's suing for child
visits and visitation.
And can you imagine this it would have been going on right next door to the White House?
Yeah.
At Blair House, there's a guy banging on the door trying to get in to see his kid.
It's like the Beverly Hillbillies. Bristol Palin, daughter of failed GOP vice presidential candidate Sarah and unwed teen mom, joins actress Hayden Panettiere in campaign against teenage pregnancy. And then there's like all this weird shenanigans going on. I guess at some point, Sarah Palin's daughter, Bristol, had said that she didn't think that her mom's idea of abstinence was realistic. Now she's going around saying whatever she said was taken out of context. But I remember hearing it. It wasn't out of context. The kid was saying, abstinence isn't realistic. Teens fuck. But it's just like they all argue with each other in public. It's a Jerry Springer episode. To go public with all their nonsense. And you expect them to pull up to the vice president's mansion in a fucking, in the Beverly Hillbillies car or the Munsters mobile.
I hope this keeps going because, there were some people who were saying she could be the Republican presidential nominee in 3 years.
No way. The party would never let that happen.
Because she energized the crowd so much during the McCain campaign. And God knows who was in those crowds.
I mean, Howard, do you really think that without her, Obama not in?
Without her...
McCain wins, in other words?
Oh, no, I don't think McCain would have won. I think it was Obama's time. But I think that McCain... Now, I was a guy who was sort of like weighing... Right. I was really holding out. I was like, well, gee, am I for McCain or am I for Obama? I really want to listen to these guys and make an educated decision as best I can. As soon as he chose Sarah Palin and I heard her speak, I said, there's no way I can support this guy. This is his first big decision, and that's what he came up with. And you know what? A lot of people even said to me, well, McCain, a decision on his own. He's got a think tank who comes up with a person. I go, well, even more embarrassing is his think tank who he selected. I mean, he's got to have selected somebody.
Yeah, he selected someone who selected someone who... It all traces back to him.
And you know what? I wasn't going to allow that, yokel from Alaska, my vice president. I wasn't just going to... it's like on American Idol when you vote. It's a little bit of personality, too. It's not just singing. I'm sorry. I mean, it was like a voting for, Granny. And Jethro. Did my gazintas, Uncle Jet. Yeah, well, we're going down a cement pond with the critters. I mean, it was insane. I mean, it was like the most insane pick ever. The woman is a complete turd. You couldn't when you're in political office and you run for president, you finally get your shot. McCain's been waiting his whole life. The man was in a tiger cage in Vietnam for fucking 5 years. I mean, this guy's been waiting his time. Finally gets the nod, and he basically was saying, I don't think I want to be the president. Because when you choose a woman like that, you're choosing somebody who will bring in a part of the country that you can't bring in. And that woman wasn't bringing in anybody. I mean, she was an embarrassment. I mean, he hardly vetted her.
I don't think they want Alaska.
I mean, Obama was smart. Biden has his gaffes and all that stuff, but Senator Biden, man, in office forever, and the guy's so articulate and bright. I mean,
that was a great choice.
The guy in foreign affairs is a whiz. The guy has sat on every major committee when it comes to foreign affairs. I mean, the guy had some credentials. You'd say to yourself, well, okay, he's a heartbeat away from the presidency. I can deal with this.
And you got somebody who was, who had been in Washington a long time, knew the ropes. What did Sarah Palin actually bring to the ticket?
Nothing.
She knew nothing. She had no experience.
She was a woman.
She was a woman.
And Obama seems to be capable, like what you say all the time, there's a gray area. He seems to be able to make bipartisan decisions,
Yeah.
He sees everyone's point more than the Republican, doesn't he?
Yeah, well... Man, it was like really weird. Like, Robin's doing the vegan thing, and I do applaud her for it. I think it's very evolved, but